Welcome to Estero Today, produced by Engage Estero. I'm your host, Mike Wasson. There were two important groundbreaking ceremonies last week in the general Estero area. As we covered in the podcast of a few weeks ago, the High Five Entertainment Center had a groundbreaking ceremony on Friday, November the 14th, in what will be called the Estero Hub Entertainment Center. The mayor and city manager spoke along with the founder of High Five Entertainment, and about 50 people attended this truly remarkable first building for the entertainment hub. It should be a wonderful future complex for Estero residents. However, on the day before, on Thursday, November 13th, there was another groundbreaking ceremony about 15 miles east on Corkscrew Road. Kingston is the latest development of Camerata Companies. It sits in the far southeastern corner of Lee County and technically outside of the Village of Estero city limits. But it is part of the greater Estero area, and it is truly an amazing development. It will take 10 years to build out. It will consist of 11,000 new homes. This groundbreaking included Camerata family members and invited leaders from some of the areas and the nation's largest home building companies. They will work alongside one another, competing to build one of the region's largest master planned communities. They include Lennar, Pulte Homes, Neo Communities, and Taylor Morrison. They have each agreed to participate in the first phase, and then in phase two, another additional contractor will be added. So phase one of the Kingston development has been approved. Camerata Companies has pledged to restore natural water flow on what had been abandoned farms owned by King Ranch. Over the next 6 months, construction on the first phase of approximately 1,000 homes will begin. The first step is to develop the project. The first step to develop this project is installing water and sewer lines, followed by roads and other infrastructure. Model homes should be completed by the end of March 2026, and the first homes will be available by the fall of 2026. In an article written by Gulfshore Business, Joe Camerata, founder of Camerata Companies, said, and I quote, "We believe there has to be a balance. His company has paid for a panther crossing underneath Corkscrew Road and will spend what he estimated to be about $100 million in wetland restoration on the new project, with about 3,300 acres or 60% of the overall land to be preserved at no taxpayer cost. The community has also planned room for a charter school and eventually room for a high school. Kingston's phase two will include up to 10,000 more homes and up to 700,000 square feet of commercial space. That fact drew LSI Companies, one of the area's largest land brokers, to the groundbreaking ceremony. Gulfshore Business also reported that Troon, which manages about 40 homeowner associations in Southwest Florida, dispatched Chief Development Officer Scott Van Newkirk to the ceremony. Lee Health also had a representative at the event. Camerata Companies is also planning an indoor sports complex for this Kingston development. Nick Camerata, who is the CEO of Camerata Companies, said, and I quote, We will have 32 pickleball courts, 12 of them indoor. We have indoor and outdoor basketball courts. We're trying to set a new community standard for living. Now, more details on this Kingston project can be found in the Gulfshore Business article. This Kingston planned community represents a substantial continued growth along the eastern sector of Corkscrew Road in Lee County. There are many new developments to the east of the village of Estero that are not part of the village. They include, but are not limited to, the following. For example, on the north side of Corkscrew Road, Wild Blue, which has about 1,100 homes completed. The Place with 1,325 homes. And on the south side of Corkscrew is Corkscrew Shores with 650 homes completed. Verdana has 2,400 homes authorized, and as of the end of September, 1,351 are occupied. Now, reports indicate that Verdana homes are selling faster than expected and faster than last year. And Verdana is a Camerata company's development. So when you add up all these numbers, it can be confusing, but when you total them all up, there's about 20,800 homes that are approved along East Corkscrew outside the village of Estero. Only about 25% of those homes have been built. Now, when you think about that, when all of these homes are completed, that will mean the number of homes and residents will be 4 times the number of homes and today's population in that area. Truly, that is a lot of growth. And on past Lee County, in Collier County, is another 9,000 homes to the east of the Kingston project, and these 9,000 homes have been approved by Collier. Lots of new growth to our east. Well, it must be said that with this considerable growth, Camerata Companies has made considerable efforts at protecting the environment and the wildlife habitat. They ought to be congratulated and thanked for doing that. However, some environmentalists are still concerned about the impact on wildlife habitat, especially for panthers, and also on the effects of water in the area. They are concerned about building thousands of homes that will be using millions of gallons of water and subsequent nutrient pollution in the area. Most environments would point out, and they are encouraging society as we go forward to think carefully about how we use water resources in the future. Well, thank you for joining us this week at Estero Today. We hope you have found the information interesting and helpful. If so, please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the bell icon. And we encourage you to share this podcast with your friends. Comment below or email us with your ideas for future podcasts. Our email address is info@esterotoday.com. Produced by Engage Estero, this is your host, Mike Wasson, wishing you a good week and hoping you can join us next week for more news on Estero Today.